second episode.
Second episode. Welcome back to the show where we can't do intros. Hello.
Here we are.
We're back. Guys, we're so back.
And it's going to be a crazy one today.
It's gonna be a doozy.
I was going to say that, but then I was like, wait.
You took that from Jacob Sharp, just so everybody knows.
So today, I just recently finished reading The Pairing by Casey McQuiston.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
So
Oh boy. This book was so fun. If you don't know, Casey McQuiston is the author of actually really just rom-coms. Their most popular?
Gay ones.
Gay ones. Yeah, they're
That's
gay.
Important.
Yes. Their most popular one is Red, White, and Royal Blue.
Oh, so good.
So good.
We've all seen the movie.
We've all seen the movie. We've all hopefully read the book, and we all know that there's going to be a sequel, and I'm so excited.
There's going to be a sequel?
There's going to be a sequel movie. Yeah.
Okay, not book.
Yeah, not book.
What else is there to say there, you know?
About Red, White, and Royal Blue?
Like, what is the second one going to be about?
I think that Casey McQuiston released another version of Red, White, and Royal Blue with a section at the end with Henry's point of view after they get married or something. So I think that's what the movie is going to be.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. I haven't read that part, so I don't know what's going to happen.
We'll fucking see.
Yeah.
That's for Casey McQuiston to figure
Exactly.
out.
They've also written One Last Stop, which is a sapphic romance about a woman stuck in time on a train.
Okay.
And then their one and only YA novel is called I Kissed Shara Wheeler.
Okay. That one's YA?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so fun. It's very Paper Townsy by John Green. So
fun.
Mysterious hot girl Shara kisses the main character and her boyfriend and then vanishes. And then main character, the boyfriend, and boy across the street have to go find Shara. And it's so good.
Okay.
It's so fun.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Casey McQuiston's books. They also are in the process of writing their 5th book, which is going to feature characters from The Pairing, which is really fun.
Love it when they do that.
Yeah.
Love a little cinematic universe.
Right? The Casey McQuiston cinematic universe. And I will read every one.
100%. I'll get there.
Yeah. Yes. So Casey McQuiston, when they posted about this book on Instagram, they said it is about, quote, 2 gloriously slutty bisexual exes having a transformational 3-week reunion through France, Spain, and Italy.
This is the future liberals
unquote. Mm-hmm. This is woke.
This is woke.
They've also said, quote, the pairing is about discovery and growth, hedonism and decadence. Hedonism, thank you. And decadence, sex and gender, laughing and crying, art and bodies, and, most importantly, food and drink. It's about the home you'll always come back to, no matter how far you travel, end quote.
Wow.
So, like, there's...
That's so meaningful.
It's so meaningful, and it's...
so sweet.
It's very cutesy, and you read that, and you're like, okay, that's going to be so fun, and, like, you're going to have just a lovely little time. But then it's all sex.
And then it's hedonism, mostly.
Yeah. So something that Casey McQuiston forgets to mention is that the main plot of this book is the 2 main characters create a competition to see who can have sex with the most people on this tour through Europe.
That's crazy.
Isn't it so fun?
That's so fun. Hey, that's one of those situations where I'm like, I would never find myself here.
No, I don't know how you could.
It's not relatable.
You know, no, not at all.
But maybe it is.
Not for
maybe
us.
Just not to us.
Yeah, not to us.
Love it. See, this is why we write stories. Because
I'm never going to experience this.
I'm never going to experience this.
And now I can live vicariously through Theo Flowerday and Kit Fairfield.
Crazy names.
Awesome names.
Great names.
Okay, so let's get into it. Let me introduce you to the characters today.
Dive in.
So our 2 main characters, Theo Flowerday, they are very charming. They've got absolutely no idea what's
There
going
are
on
they
in their
them.
lives. There are they them.
Nice.
It is written from their point of view for the first half of the book.
Okay, so we don't even know that for a while?
We don't know that. And the Casey McQuiston did that on purpose so that you kind of get, like, you can kind of get an idea of what you think Theo is like, and then it switches point of views, and then you're like, oh, okay, that's not actually what I was picturing, you know? Like,
love that.
You get to come to your own conclusions, which I think is fun.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there are they them. They're also a Libra,
okay,
if that matters.
Indecisive, I get it.
Yeah. Which
that's relatable.
also, if you read Red, White, and Royal Blue, they're the Alex of this book. So
Okay.
very, very big personality.
So
Kind of obnoxious, but like
Okay.
in a good way, you know?
you've read a lot of Casey McQuiston's books. Are they all the same
Pretty
characters?
much, yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's
Because we love them.
right. I enjoy it every time.
You know what you're getting into.
The funny thing too about Theo is that they are like the third Hemsworth sibling. So the
Okay.
Flower Days are a big, big family in Hollywood. Their two younger sisters are huge actresses in Hollywood and like are in movies with like Willem Dafoe.
Okay, Theo's the Frankie Jonas.
Yeah, Theo's
Okay.
the Luke Hemsworth.
Holy shit, they're in movies with Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just
No.
yeah. I didn't
Yeah.
realize that's what you said until like 5 minutes
Mhm.
later.
I know. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. So yeah, so
Name drop.
they very much hate being a nepo baby, and they so now they do
Okay.
everything in their power not to like
No sympathy.
use any money from the family.
Okay.
They never use their name for anything. Like they try very hard to be separated. They want to make their own success, kind of thing.
Okay, I can get down with that.
Right?
But honestly, if I was a nepo baby, I would be doing the opposite.
Dude, I would
Hello?
be abusing the shit out of that.
Right? That's an easy step into fame.
Exactly.
Love that.
So yeah, that's Theo. We also have Kit Fairfield, who is
Okay.
the second main character.
Love that name,
Something really important to consider about him is he is French.
Okay. So
That's
this
it.
changes things.
This changes everything.
So their last names are Flower Day and Fairfield.
Yes.
That's cute.
Isn't it? Which going
That's
along
so
with that,
cottagecore.
so these two characters have been friends for 16 years.
Whoa.
They dated for 2 years and have now been broken up, no contact for 4 years.
Why did they break up?
We'll get into that.
Okay. I'm
But-
getting ahead of
Yeah.
us.
But for
stop
the first
asking
like
questions.
16 or I guess 18 years that they know each other, they're constantly talking about this hypothetical restaurant that they're one day going to open called Fairfield. Fairfield? No.
Flowerfield?
Flowerfield. Yep, that's what it is.
Cute.
Flowerfield.
That makes sense.
Right? So they're always talking about this because Kit is like a pastry chef. He loves pastries. Like he went to pastry school.
Cute.
Theo is a bartender training to be.
Kid is the French one.
Kid is the French one.
Okay.
He also has a dead mom. That's important. He's a Taurus.
His whole thing is that he's a French pastry chef.
And he
That-
lives, yeah, and
Okay.
he lives in Paris.
And he lives in Paris.
He lives in Paris.
Got it. Okay.
He's also
Likely place
really,
for a
really
pastry chef to be.
beautiful, right? He's so hot and gorgeous, like very,
100%.
very Prince Charming.
Love that.
So yeah, but yeah, so they are always talking about this restaurant that they're gonna open up one day, like coming up with fun little recipes and things. And so Kit decides to book a food and wine tour across Europe for the both of them.
Do they both live in Paris?
No. So right now they live in America. I don't actually remember
Okay.
where. I think in
Gotcha.
California.
Okay.
So he books this trip, and on the way there, like on the plane ride there,
Mhm.
they break up.
Okay.
So
Whoa.
yeah, so they never actually make it to the tour.
Okay.
But they do receive vouchers they're good for 48 months, 2 years.
okay.
right? Is that 2 years? 3 years?
48.
4 years?
Holy
4
shit.
years, yeah.
I can't do math.
So they're good for 4 years. And Theo is like, Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Right.
So yeah, back to the characters.
Back to page 1.
Yeah. I kind of also want to introduce the tour group to you a little bit because all of the characters are important.
Okay.
So our tour guide is a very hot, flamboyant Italian man. His name is...
have to be.
You
hot.
have to be.
Yeah.
His name is Fabrizio, and he's so fun. There's one part where they're Fabrizio is taking Kit and Theo for a little ride in one of those like motorcycles with the like seat down below.
Oh, okay.
And Theo sees it and is like, Fabrizio, no. And Fabrizio's like, Fabrizio, see! And then like just like jumps up and down.
Cute.
It's so funny. I love him.
I love him in his little sidecar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We've got Orla. She's the driver of the tour bus.
I love that name.
She's Irish and an old lesbian woman.
100%.
Mm-hmm. She's
100%.
very cool. We've got the Callums. They're both Australian, and they're both named Callum.
Yeah, that's the only Australian name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One of them's ginger, one of them is blonde. They are known as Blonde Callum and Ginger Callum.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And potentially they're in love. I don't know for sure.
Probably.
I think they are.
When they've
been friends
Australian
for years and years.
And your
and
name
years.
is Callum, you have to find the other Australian
you got to find the other
Callum.
Mm-hmm. We've also got Montana and Dakota, who are American, obviously, with those names.
Montana and Dakota?
Yep.
Shut up. Casey McQuiston was like, what are American places?
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
What's an Australian name? Got it. We think that they're travel influencers. I don't know if it's actually confirmed, but they're cool.
Okay, why do we think that?
Why do we think
confirmed.
that? They're just always like on their phone and like they're very influencer.
Okay. Is this like maybe like are the characters thinking?
Yeah, when I say we, I mean me and Theo at the same time.
Okay.
And then when it changes
not like a fan
thing.
Okay.
No. They also say slay a lot, which I think is really funny.
Perfect.
Montana and Dakota.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're American.
They're American. So yeah, that is our band of characters. Obviously there's more people on the tour, but they're not very important, so I'm not going to get into it.
No, they can die.
They can, yeah. So our plot, we start the first couple pages with Theo's version on how things start with them and Kit. So it starts with them at like a Halloween party. Theo is like, oh my God, yeah, I like used to be in love with you. And Kit's like, oh my God, that's so funny. I used to be in love with you too.
Oh, nice.
And then I think they kiss for like old times.
This is a Halloween party?
A Halloween party,
What are they dressed up as? Do you remember?
Sunny and Cher, I think.
Oh my God, shut up.
And Kit is wearing like
they came to the party dressed as Sunny and Cher.
I'm pretty sure.
Cute. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cute.
And they didn't know they were into each other at this point?
They're very oblivious.
Okay, fair enough.
So then they kiss, and then I think Theo's like, I have something to say. I've actually been in love with you this whole time. And Kit's like, oh my God, me too.
Yeah.
And so then they are together. How it ends is it's very ominous. Like Theo is standing in the airport at baggage claim. They're watching the carousel go by. There is a dildo on the carousel.
Because why not?
And it's just going, like, they're watching that go around and being like, where's Kit? Kit has been gone like 10 times. I've seen this dildo come around. Where is Kit? It's been 35 minutes. Where is he? He doesn't come back. So Theo is like, oh, he left me. And so
Holy
Theo
shit.
goes home, and that is how they end. So
30 minutes is quite a lot.
It's quite a long time. Yeah.
And what year is this supposed to be?
I don't know. I think it's
I'm
present.
just wondering, like, if phones exist.
Oh, yeah.
So we could have just texted
Well,
them.
they did on...
Where
we
you
don't
at?
know this yet, but on the plane ride to the airport, like their layover, they get into a huge argument, a huge fight.
Whoa.
So Kit's like, I need time
Oh,
away from you.
I see.
Yeah.
Holy
and
shit.
so Theo's like, he left.
You need time away from me? Goodbye.
Okay, bye then.
Goodbye.
So yeah, that's kind of how we begin. So, and also keep in mind that this is Theo's point of view.
Okay.
Only right now. Okay, so now we're into the story.
Okay.
We're in London. Theo is currently in a bar. They are
Nice.
they don't work in this bar, but they're hooking up
a pub.
A pub.
A pub.
Sorry, a pub. They're hooking up a keg in this bar that they don't work at just because they know how to hook up a keg. They're very charming and very cool. People want, like, anytime there's a situation, Theo's like, I can do it. And like,
wow.
Yeah, they're a go-getter.
Can you imagine?
No, I don't want to imagine that. So yeah. Theo realizes that they're going to be late for the tour bus, so they sprint out of the bar and arrive where the tour bus is meeting.
Okay.
We meet Fabrizio for the first time, and Theo's like, God damn, okay.
For sure.
Kind of hot. We also meet Orla, the driver.
And I'm like, damn.
Yep, exactly. So...
Wait, the lesbian is the bus driver?
The lesbian is the bus driver.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay.
And so, yeah, Theo's the last one there with Stig. That's another patron of the
Stig.
Stig. He doesn't get much page time, but we meet him because he's also late because he got really drunk and passed out in the hills in London.
Okay.
And then woke up and had to hike all the way back. So okay. I like him immediately.
Okay. Yeah.
But so the bus is pretty crowded. Every seat is filled except for the back row. There's one person sitting in this row, and there's a seat open next to this guy. And Theo's like, oh, I really don't want to sit next to a stranger.
Yeah, I'd be thinking the same thing. Get me out of here.
But of course, it's the only seat. So they go back there, and they're like, hey, is the seat taken?
Okay, wait. Theo went on this trip alone?
Yes. So they go alone because they got the voucher, and they're like, it's been 4 years. It's the last month. I can do this. I think I'm over Kit, finally. Like, I think I should go on this trip for me. Yeah. It's going to be a restorative trip for me. And I've moved on.
Yeah.
So they're alone.
Okay.
But so they get to the back of the bus and they get to the seat and the guy is looking out the window and Theo's like, hey, can I sit here? And the guy turns and can you guess who's sitting in the seat?
I can. And I have a follow-up question.
Yeah.
They've been friends for how long?
16 years. And they dated for 2.
And Theo wouldn't have immediately recognized him?
Yeah. I don't know. I think because he was looking out the window, I guess, and it was just his hair. He did grow his hair out, so that was part of it. Yeah.
Okay.
But so, yeah, the guy that's sitting there is Kit, obviously.
I see. Yeah.
Obviously.
So Spoiler.
So Kit's like, Theo's like, oh gee whiz. I am in for a freaking ride of my life. Like, Kit is going to be on this tour with... I'm still so mad at him. He left me at the airport.
Yeah.
I'm pissed. And
how long ago was this at
that
this
was
point?
4 years ago.
Okay.
And they haven't talked since then.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So there is a sharp corner on that Orla takes, and Theo falls into Kit, and Kit gets a nosebleed. And keep that in mind for later about the nosebleeds.
Okay. Is there going to be something about a tampon here? With this nosebleed?
No.
It seems like the right type of situation.
Honestly, yeah.
For that joke again.
I'm glad that doesn't happen.
We're done.
So they have like an awkward reunion on the bus. Then we get to the hills of Dover. Ooh. And Kit's being Kit, being hot and sexy and like talking to everybody, making friends. He makes friends with the old Swedish couple on the tour. And then he finds his way over to Theo, and Theo's like, oh, I really don't want to talk to him, but okay. So Kit is like, hey, the next stop on the trip is Paris. Like, I can go back home if you don't want me here. Like, if it makes you uncomfortable, I can leave. And Theo's like, fuck you, man. Like, you can't be the bigger person. I want to be the bigger person.
Okay.
And so
that would be me too. Yeah. I'd be like, are you serious? You're fine, dude. Chill.
And so Theo's like, no, that's stupid. And Kit's like, what? Okay. And so then they end up so they make a pact to be like civil with each other, and Theo's like, but we're not going to be friends. We're going to be people that know each other's blood type. That's how we're going to interact with each other.
Okay.
So
denial.
Kit's like, yeah. So Kit's like, okay, I can get down with that. So they shake on it. They agree. They say each other's blood types, and then thus begins the tour.
Okay.
What do we think so far?
I thought you were going to ask, what do we think their blood types are?
I know that Kit's off the top of my head is O negative. I don't remember what Theo's is. I think it's an A something. A positive
not
or
like
something.
other girls.
No.
O negative. That's rare.
I know.
Universal,
That's what I
even.
said. I was reading it and I was like, wow. Okay, Kit. Yeah, any thoughts?
This is fun. It's super stupid. I love it.
Yeah.
I love stupid. That's my favorite.
It's pretty fun too, because like we see Kit on the bus like page 4, and so like it immediately gets into it, and so good.
And I know I said earlier this isn't relatable at all to me, and I wouldn't find myself in this situation, but I can picture myself running into, ex-lovers or whatever, what have you, and being like, this is totally normal and cool and fine, and we're all being really cool and normal about this. Anyway, let's move on.
Yep. And that's exactly what Theo's doing.
That's the vibe. That's
the vibe.
The feeling. I get it.
Yes. So now we get to Paris. We arrive in Paris, where Kit lives.
Okay.
And we go to a patisserie to meet Maxine, who is a pastry chef. And she also is friends with Kit. They went to pastry school together.
Cute.
Yeah. So we meet her and we learn how to make some pastries. After that, Maxine and Theo have a little chat, and Theo immediately is like, they're dating. They're so dating.
Oh my god.
I hate this bitch.
Buddy.
But Maxine calls Kit the sex god of, this is French, so I'm not going to say it right, École des Jardins? I don't know. But
yeah, that's definitely not right.
Definitely not right. But I do apologize.
I don't know what's right. So it's canon.
It's canon. So yeah, Kit's known as the sex god. Yes. So Theo's like, what the hell? Like, that's not the guy I remember. But Maxine's like, yeah, he like slept through the whole pastry school. And Kit, yeah. Okay. And Theo's like, okay, interesting. So yeah, we meet Maxine, whatever. We don't like her, but she's also cool. Okay. Then they go to see Moulin Rouge.
Fun.
Live, which was one of Kit's favorite movies. They used to watch it all the time when they were kids.
I get it.
He loved Ewan McGregor.
Yeah. I get it.
After the show, Kit takes Theo to his favorite bar, and it's called Pussy's.
Nice.
Theo describes the bar as, the bar is as wide as their hostel room.
Yeah.
So it's pretty teeny tiny. Kit's like, hey, I'm going to go get some drinks. And Theo's like, okay, I'll go find seating. Is it through there? And it's so cool. It's like a wardrobe that you open, and the back of it has been cut out, and you walk through, and it's this huge room with a bunch of
speakeasy?
Yeah, with like a bunch of like bedroom furniture and stuff.
Fun.
So like there's guys sitting on armchairs and then women sitting on nightstands with a bunch of cushions, and the one open seat is on this big squishy bed on the corner of the big squishy bed.
Okay.
So Theo sits down, and they're like, whoa, this bed is so squishy. I'm like falling all over the place.
Is it just the two of them at this point, or is it the whole group?
Just the two of them. And so then Kit comes back with the drinks. He sets them down and sits next to Theo. And because this bed is so big and squishy, they kind of get thrown around somehow.
You can't sit still on a squishy bed.
You can't. So they tumbled a bit, and it just so happened that Kit landed on top of Theo with their arms bracketing Theo in between them. So they're in a very, very intimate position here. And they have a very silly conversation. I don't remember what it was about, but they stayed like that for a while. And then eventually eventually they get up, and Maxine shows up.
Naturally.
And Theo's like,
she's just been lurking around the corner this whole time.
Pretty much. And
she said, when can I get in the middle of that?
Yeah,
we're in Paris.
I wanna be in there.
Hey, we're in Paris.
We're in Paris. When in Paris. So Maxine shows up. Theo's like, this is stupid. But when she shows up, she's like, oh my god, did you guys see that really hot bartender over there? And Kit's like, yeah, she was so hot. And Theo's like, okay, I gotta go see this hot bartender, only to extricate themselves from the situation.
Okay. Yeah.
So while
I would do the same.
Yeah. So while they're chatting it up with the hot bartender, the main actress from Moulin Rouge, shows up at this bar too.
Nicole Kidman?
No, from the show that they watched.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
No, not Nicole Kidman.
I was like, hold on.
No.
Holy shit.
But so Theo is like, Kit is obviously going to go take Maxine home, so I'm going to take this actress home.
Yeah.
And so, stuff happens. Then we learn.
Does Theo take the actress home?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Theo's got Riz.
Theo's got fucking Riz. They're very charming.
They all do? Okay.
Both Theo and Kit, they've got it going. But so Theo assumes that Kit has sex with Maxine, and then we learn that actually he doesn't. They're just friends. And that is like, Theo's like, oh my God, wait, maybe I can be friends with Kit if he's not dating Maxine.
Holy shit.
And you're like, dude.
The jealousy's coming out of his pores.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I keep misgendering them.
Well, if it makes you feel better, they do say they're a little bit of everything, except definitely not a woman. So.
Same.
Yeah.
I get it.
So, okay, now that's kind of it in Paris. We also, Kit and Theo talk about their tattoos that they have. And we don't really get into much of that, but yeah.
Any bullet points there on their tattoos? As tattoo connoisseurs.
As tattoo connoisseurs.
Ourselves.
Kit has a whisk that he got matching with 3 other people from pastry school.
Oh my God.
He has
Shut
something for his mom, who's dead, if you remember.
Classic.
And Theo's like, oh my God, she would love that. And Kit's
would
like,
she? People are always saying this.
Right?
They're like, I'm going to get a tattoo for my deceased loved one. And I'm like, your deceased loved one hated tattoos. And they're probably old.
Mm-hmm. And they wouldn't like it.
This is a whole different tangent.
Yeah.
I'll let you continue.
Then I can't remember what Theo's are, but they've got one on their thigh that's pretty big that comes into play later.
Ooh.
But so yeah, that's kind of it in Paris. Then we get to Bordeaux. And we're gonna learn how wine is made in Bordeaux.
Ooh.
So we drive the bus to this massive chateau, and we meet Gerard.
Ooh.
And he's the owner of this estate to make the wine. So he introduces himself and then introduces his husband, who is called Baguette Husband, because he teaches them how to make baguettes. And Kit is like, Theo, you're pounding that baguette too hard. Like, let me help you.
Yeah.
And so he helps Theo, but in a way that they're like not touching.
Okay.
They're not touching.
I was picturing like a ghost.
No.
Like,
that's what I was expecting, but no, they don't touch each other.
Okay.
But so yeah, they make baguettes together. It's cute. Then we meet the best character in the entire book, Florian, who is the call to action, I'd say, in this story.
Okay.
Florian
so things are about to start happening.
Things are about to happen. Florian is this really hot farmhand that works on the farm.
Nice.
He kind of just is like super, super cutesy and like runs around and fills everybody's wine.
That's what you want your farmhand to do.
Right?
You want them to be cutesy.
Exactly.
And cute.
Theo says that it's like they buried a bunch of romance novels in the garden and Florian is what popped up.
Love that. Love that. Love his name.
Right? So yeah, they kind of, Theo and Kit are like sitting on a picnic blanket and they're kind of like fight flirting with Florian to see like who can get more wine, because
are we allowed to say slurs in this show? Sorry.
I've
been sitting on faggots making baguettes this whole time.
I mean, why not?
Let's continue.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But so yeah, so Florian comes over, fills Theo's wine, and is like, "Hey, do you like the wine?" And Theo's like, "Oh, it's gorgeous," and like,
gorge.
Yeah, so kind of
Beautiful.
flirts, and then Florian's filling the wine and like gets distracted and fills it a little bit too full, and then like gets flustered and walks away. And then Kit's like, "What the heck? You're flirting with him." And Theo's like, "Oh,
Whoa.
am I?" And Kit's like, "Well, I want to flirt with him." And so then they like have a little competition to see who can get the most wine. I don't know. It's really silly.
Yeah.
But so that's kind of it with Florian for now. Then we go to, Theo is also, I don't know if I touched this yet. Theo's a bartender.
Okay.
They are studying to be, I might say this wrong, a sommelier.
Sommelier.
Sommelier. Okay, thank you. They're training to be a sommelier. And while they're at this learning how to make wine and everything, they do some sommelier shit where they're like, ooh, this tastes a little bit like worn saddle. And
some aromatic tasting.
Yeah. And so Kit's like, whoa, that's really cool. I'm so impressed.
Oh.
And Theo's like, yeah, I am a sommelier. They're not. They're studying. They've failed the exam thrice now.
Okay.
So they're not a sommelier.
I feel like that would be a really easy thing to improv too.
Right? Yeah.
You can
they're
just
very
say
good at
shit,
it.
and as long as you say it in like a commanding tone, nobody's gonna question that.
And then like they said it is like worn saddle, but then the Gerard was like, oh my god, yeah, you got it. Like that's it. So
what is that? What does worn saddle taste like?
I don't know. Which then Theo's like, actually later, they're like, it actually tasted like assless chaps. Which, what are you talking about?
That's funny.
Right? It is funny. But so Kit's very impressed. Yeah, whatever. Then we go to the Saint Pierre district in Bordeaux.
Okay.
And Kit and Theo talk about their families. They like catch each other up on their siblings. And we learn that Kit is not talking to his dad anymore.
Ooh.
Because he is kind of like a shitty dad, you know? He's not great. Like when their mom died, he kind of just holed up in his room and didn't really care for the kids.
Damn.
But this is where Theo shined. Theo was always over hanging out with Kit and his sisters.
Oh. Okay, I see.
That's where they became really close.
Oh,
so
there's daddy issues tied in here
there's
too.
There's daddy issues, yes. Of course.
French daddy issues?
French.
Classic.
Yep.
Many such cases of this.
Yeah. So while they're talking, they're in a bar, and in this bar, they notice that the Callums are here. And the Callums are out with
5 Seconds of Summer.
Yes.
Yes.
The Callums are out with Florian.
Okay.
If you don't remember from 2 seconds ago,
So
that's the very hot farmhand.
Fucking everybody.
Yeah, so they're like, oh my god, I would have never, like, if anybody was getting Florian a drink, we would have never suspected it would be the Callums.
It's not that.
This is shocking. It's never the Callums. However, as they're watching this take place, Dakota and Montana also come out of the woodworks, and they're all hanging out. And so Theo and Kit are like, oh my god, if anybody's sleeping with Florian, who do you think it's going to be out of these four? And then as they're talking about it, Fabrizio waltzes out, and they're like, holy shit, Fabrizio by a mile. He's for sure
100%.
He's the winner.
He's pulling every time.
Yeah. Which then Kit is like, well, or I could. And Theo's like, what? And Kit's like, well, I could sleep with Florian. And
I could put myself on the board.
Yeah. And Theo's like, well, then so could I.
Okay.
And so then they create a sex bet to see who can sleep with Florian.
Okay. This is where everything's
this
starting.
This is where it starts. So I've written down some dialogue because I think it's really funny.
Ooh, okay.
But so they're talking about it's Florian, and Kit's like, well, what about Fabrizio? There's more opportunity that we could sleep with him. And Theo says, Fabrizio's more available, though. We're always with him, I say. With Florian, there's a finite window of opportunity, a Florian fuck window. Sure, but let's say one of us succeeds within the Florian fuck window, Kit counters. The other could just do the same with someone else in the next city. It wouldn't be a meaningful victory. What are you suggesting? A tournament bracket? I'm not suggesting anything, he says, though he doesn't look disinterested. But if I was, I think it would be a matter of seducing a local in the greatest number of individual cities.
Nice.
A body count competition.
That's crazy.
And so this begins the sex competition.
It's creative. Honestly, I'm on board. We're on a, what did you say, bread and wine tour?
Food and wine.
Food and wine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What else to do?
What else is it for?
Right? Like you're in Europe. Take advantage. Seize the moment.
Yeah.
Have sex with all the people you want to have sex with.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Make it a competition. Always.
And so who do you think sleeps with Florian?
I think they both do at separate times.
Well, you would be wrong.
Really?
Theo is the winner.
Icon.
Yeah. So Theo does end up sleeping with Florian. And
nice.
Yeah. Kit's like, damn.
This is a win.
Been me. Huh?
Yeah. I was just saying this is a win.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's kind of it for Bordeaux. Then we get to Saint Jean de Luz.
Ooh.
And we learn a little bit about who Theo calls Schnauzer, that whatever.
Wait, side note, forgive my ignorance here.
Okay.
Are these all places in France?
Places in Europe. It's France, Spain, and Italy.
Okay. Got it.
I don't know exactly what country they're in because I am also ignorant.
Cities are in which countries?
We're American, guys.
We are extremely American.
Yeah.
Sorry, not going to do anything about it. I don't really care.
No. So Theo gets a text from this bride that they are going to be bartending for, and they don't respond, which is a common theme with Theo. They're just kind of oblivious.
Yeah, I get it.
Which I wrote this down, but then I never actually touched on it again. But so I guess later on, I'll just tell you now. Later on, the bride that books Theo is like, termination of contract. Since you're not responding to me, you're not helping me out. You've lost your biggest job of the year. So it's a big thing. And Theo gets pissed off. 100%. But so yeah, they're in Saint Jean de Luz. They're on the tour bus. Kit is listening to music, and Theo's like, "What are you listening to?" And Kit's like, "You're gonna make fun of me."
Oh my god! Hey, shut up.
He's listening to in every stop. He's listening to music that was composed and written in that destination, so that he can experience the entire trip.
Okay,
which is so fun. Hold on.
It. Okay.
Yeah.
So these two people are extremely confident.
Mm-hmm.
We've established how confident these people are in their tastes and their style and everything of that, and then to be like, I'm embarrassed about what I'm listening to.
Well,
and then for that to be like an extremely meaningful project and really cute and nice.
Yeah.
Well, what the fuck are you talking about, man?
Kit is very like, anything revolving Theo is like, oh my god, you know, like they're like a young boy in love, you know?
Okay.
Like there's a part where Theo is naked and Kit is like, I've seen Theo naked a bunch of times, but even when I just see like a little bit of their wrist or whatever, I become like an Edwardian girl and I freak out because this is so much and I can't do this. So like,
okay, that's fair.
Yeah, so like they're just extremely in love with Theo.
Okay.
And they
it's just Theo.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
That's cute.
Isn't it?
That's fun.
But so yeah, they listen to music, and it's really cute. And then we go to this like little market and we meet Fruit Wife.
Fruit Wife.
She works at the market and she sells fruit. And Theo is like, she's definitely somebody's wife. So Fruit Wife.
Good name.
Yeah. We also meet Sexy Fishmonger.
I like this one more.
Yes. Her name is Paloma.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Kit is the one that meets her. And so yeah, those are two characters that we meet. Paloma invites them for dinner later, so they're like, oh my god, yeah. So they have plans to meet up with Sexy Fishmonger later.
Okay.
In the meantime, they're gonna go to this beach. And while they're at the beach, they're like, oh, I wish I would have brought a swimsuit. It would be so fun to swim. And Theo's like, we'll turn around. And so they strip down to their underwear and they run into the water. And
nice.
Yeah. They talk about books and movies that aren't gay but are gay, which was a fun conversation.
There's a lot of those.
So they
have any that you remember them talking about?
They talked about Speed with Keanu Reeves.
Yes.
They talked about Top Gun.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that one.
I haven't either.
I can imagine it though. Because a lot of homoeroticism there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then Kit is reading a book right now that is straight, but it's inherently gay. So that's like kind of how they got onto the convo. So yeah, they're in the water. Theo sees Kit's other tattoo, which is a quote from the Silmarillion, which is a book. It's a French book, and his tattoo is in French, and it says surpasses all jewels. And Theo Theo like traces it with their finger without really thinking about it. And Kit's like, oh, and Theo's like, oh. But it's kind of cute. And then Kit gets a nosebleed. What? Why? Nothing happened. So
Kit is stressed out. That's what's happening.
Yeah. So they then go have dinner with Paloma, and guess who else is there? Fruit Wife.
Okay. We're in a different place. The other guy's not here.
Fabrizio's somewhere else. I'm not sure where he is.
God damn it.
So Paloma goes home with Kit, and Fruit Wife goes home with Theo.
Nice. That worked out for them.
Right? However, the entire time, Theo's like, hey, where'd Kit go? Or because they don't actually go home yet. They're like still in a bar or something. Okay. And so Theo sees Kit and Paloma leave, and Theo is like, hey, did you see where they went? And Fruit Wife is like, what? No. And is like trying to kiss Theo. And
she's like, can you stop paying attention to your boyfriend and pay attention to me?
And it's like really annoying. And so finally Fruit Wife is like, okay, I don't want to be second. Like, yeah, babe, we're not doing this. And so babe, Theo's like,
you can go get another somebody.
Yeah. Theo's like, 100%. Oh shit. Okay. This is something. So then whatever. They talk about, they're in San Sebastian now. They talk about the breakup. We learned that Kit did come back to the airport. Whoa. He did come back for Theo. But he went to the bathroom to cry after their fight for half an hour. He just needed a lot of time to compose himself. But he does come back, and the whole time Kit's like, Theo just left me. So they both are thinking that the other left the other in the airport, and then they're like, okay, wait, so
classic miscommunication that could have been solved with a fucking text message.
So yeah, this changes things. So Theo admits to themselves that, oh my god, I'm still in love with Kit. Obviously we knew that.
Yeah.
They have a cute conversation about things that surprise each other, about not having seen each other for 4 years. Kit's like, I really love how confident you are and like how you hold yourself. And Theo's like, oh my god, I was gonna say the same about you. Super cute. Now we're in Barcelona. Theo talks about what it feels like to like different genders and how different people make different parts of them glow. So like, I know, isn't that cute?
That's so sweet.
But then they say, but with Kit, they're entirely illuminated because Kit is like everything to them, which is really sweet. So they're in Barcelona and it's nighttime, and Kit texts Theo.
Yeah.
And is like, hey, is your AC working?
Nice.
So Kit's AC breaks. Nice. And Theo's like, fuck. Okay. And is like, okay, you can come sleep in my room, I guess. Yeah. My AC's working.
Yes.
And so Kit gets there, and
they're in Europe?
They're in Barcelona.
And they have ACs in their hotel room?
I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I've heard this is not a thing that happens often.
It does in the book.
This is an expensive tour.
I know.
You had to use those vouchers. It's worth a lot.
It's really expensive.
Top dollar.
So yeah, Theo's like, I'll sleep on the floor, and Kit's like, what? No, it's your room. Like, if anything, I'll sleep on the floor. And Theo's like, no, that's stupid. Let's just sleep in the bed.
Naturally.
And so,
hey, we've already expressed our feelings for one another. Why not?
Well, no, not really. No, Kit
just said, like, I love everything about you, and you make everybody around you so much better. But
that's not, it's not an outright I love you. And they're oblivious again.
Okay.
So they go to sleep, and things happen in the night with dreams and things. And
things go bump in the night.
Theo wakes up to...
Holy shit, what does he wake up to?
He wakes up from a wet dream, and then Kid is also having one. And
guys, just fuck.
And so Theo is like slowly tries to like extricate themselves from Kit while Kid is still asleep, and it's really funny. But they fall on the bed or fall on the floor together, and Kit is very embarrassed, and Theo's like, oh my god.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was crazy.
How old are these people?
How old?
Yeah.
Like 28.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that happens. We go to a bar in Barcelona called Bar Marcella.
Nice.
And Kit calls a chocolatero that he mentioned to Theo, and Theo was like, maybe you should call him. And so he does call him. And so
what did you just say? Sorry. Calls a what now?
A chocolatero?
What's that?
Like a person that makes chocolate? I think. Yeah, that's what they say in the book.
Okay. I didn't know if you were saying chocolate. Sorry.
Oh, I'm just saying it really weird.
Okay.
So Kit calls this chocolate person and then leaves with them, and Theo leaves with a woman.
Guys, we're still doing this.
We're still doing this.
We're still here.
This is really fun though, because the two people that they leave with know each other.
Ooh.
They're neighbors. And they are neighbors that live across the way from each other.
They're neighbors that swing. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, so Theo is starting
are they?
Well,
sorry, I'll let you continue.
Theo's starting to make out with this really hot girl, and while they're making out, Theo hears Kit from across the alleyway, because
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, Theo's like, wait, is the person that Kit went home with, are you guys neighbors? And the girl is like, yeah, he lives right over there. And so they hear each other fucking the other people, and
that's crazy.
Yeah. It was insane. It was very
just
very
go to
wild.
the same place.
Like fuck each other. Just
we can all
your
go
feelings.
into the same place and have I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This is we're doing all this.
Oh.
Whoa. Holy shit. That totally got me off track. I have no idea what I was talking about. Oh, you can
Sorry about that. Okay, so then we go to Nice. Nothing super important happens there. We meet one of Kit's friends that works at a bakery, and they help out at the bakery because the employees have gotten sick, and it's a really busy day.
Okay.
Kit calls Theo handsome, and it's really sweet and cute. I read that, and I was like, ugh!
That's a good
kicking
one.
my feet, giggling, twirling my
Handsome?
hair, all that. Handsome, yes.
Okay.
I
have mixed feelings about that word.
I like it. It's good on sometimes.
I feel like it's for little boys.
Oh,
you look so handsome.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
That's how it feels to me.
That's fair. Okay, this is also crazy. We're in Monaco.
Okay.
Monaco now.
Mm-hmm.
Kit is wearing these super slutty little swim shorts, and
Naturally.
Kit's like, what should we do? And Theo's like, we can't do much with you wearing that.
Yeah.
And Kit's like, well, what can we do then? And Theo's
Take
like,
him off.
I want to go on a yacht. And Kit's like, how the fuck are we going to do that? And Theo's like,
how are we getting on a yacht?
Just you wait, buddy. And so Theo uses the Flower Day name because, again, they're very famous in Hollywood and stuff, and is like, hey, I'm Theo Flower Day. Can I get on this yacht? And the person there,
Frankie Jonas. Will you let me on?
Will you let me on? And so they do. They're invited on the yacht. They kind of hang out for a little bit. They drink. They get a little bit drunk. They hang out with all these hot girls.
Okay.
And then the owner of the yacht is like, "Hey, you guys, do you want to come back to my room?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "We're gonna." I'll meet you there. Come with me, or something like that. And so as Kit and Theo are walking, they're like, do we just get invited to have a threesome? And
or are we gonna get murdered at sea?
Dennis Reynolds situation.
The implication. Because of the
yeah.
Right.
They don't get murdered.
There's no
it is
implication.
indeed a threesome that is going to be taking place.
Okay.
But
Nice.
on the walk there, they're like, should we do this? And they're like, yeah, we should do this.
Yeah.
And so they kind of talk about the details about what's going to happen, but they do agree to go along with it. While they're kind of getting into it, somebody comes and Emilio, I think is his name, has to go back out onto the yacht and is like, I'll be back. I hope you guys will have gotten started by the time I get back. And so Theo and Kit are both like, holy shit, oh my god, we almost just had sex. Whoa, it's been so long since we've done anything together. Then they leave. They run out of there. Theo steals a bottle of wine. They're bailing. Theo steals a bottle of wine. They're running back to their hostel. On the way back, they stop in an alleyway And they're like, ah, this is so fun. That was such a fun little experience. Yep. Kit kisses Theo. And now we switch to Kit's point of view.
Yes.
Which is so
that's fun.
Yeah. So we start with Kit's version of how things started and of how things end. And it's really cute. So Kit's beginning is he fell in love with Theo literally the first time that he sees her. And again, we don't know that Theo is non-binary in this section of the story. So Kit uses she, her pronouns.
Okay.
So yeah, he falls in love with her as soon as he sees her in like elementary school. And their ending is Kit in Paris with his uncle buying or signing papers to buy an apartment in Paris for both him and Theo.
Wow.
And that is their ending. And that's all we know about that.
Okay.
So, yeah. The entirety of Kit's point of view is insane because it is literally just like, oh my God, Theo's so hot. Oh my God, Theo's doing this.
Everything
oh my God, I love Theo. Theo.
Yeah.
They're so in love with Theo. Like they've never gotten over Theo. It's really sweet. It's really
buddy.
cute. There's a lot of yearning.
Hey,
a lot of yearning.
Make a fucking move, man.
Right? So yeah, like very, very much in love with them. We get to Cinque Terre, someplace else.
Okay.
There's Callum drama here.
Ooh, drama with the Callums.
Blonde Callum had a threesome with Montana and Dakota without Ginger Callum. And Ginger Callum is mad because they promised that if they ever did anything, they would do it together.
This is fucked.
Yeah. So, also, this is really fun because, like, while we're paying a lot of attention to Theo and Kit are paying attention to the interworkings of everybody else on the tour group.
Yes.
So, like, they're being entertained by everybody else, which is fun.
Okay, that is fun.
Right? So... yeah, after they kiss, they are like, we should probably have sex because there's a lot of tension here. You know, we got to get it out of our systems.
This is Theo and Kit?
Yes.
Okay.
They make 2 rules, and that is no kissing and no penetration.
Okay.
So then...
doesn't matter.
Yeah. So...
doesn't matter.
They fuck. Now we're in Pisa.
Okay.
There's a really cute part where... Kit is just like describing Theo and like how much they've changed since knowing them in the past. So like in the past, Theo was very girly. Like she would wear dresses all the time. She would do makeup and like paint her nails. And now obviously Theo is a lot more androgynous. Like their hair is long or shorter. They've worked out a little bit. Like they're very
much more mask.
And there's a line that Kit says where he's like, but sometimes when she leaned into the mirror to put on lipstick or tugged the front of her shirt away from her chest, I would see her eyes go somewhere else, like she wasn't quite inside the body she was dressing up.
Wow.
Really good. And somebody pointed out to Casey McQuiston and was like, did you realize that you wrote about body dysmorphia, or not body dysmorphia, gender dysphoria? And she was like, Casey McQuiston, they were like, oh my God, no, I didn't. Like, it just like came to me. So it was very interesting because Casey McQuiston is also non-binary.
Yes. You write about what you know.
Exactly.
Right?
So that part was really sweet. I like that a lot.
That is sweet.
But again, they agree to keep having sex, by the way. And Theo comes out to Kit as non-binary.
Okay.
They're soft launching it, as they say, because
nice.
They don't want it to make it a big deal. So people call them she, whatever, but like obviously they don't prefer it. And Kit is like, yes, this makes so much sense. Like I've never thought of Theo as a girl, and this makes sense. Mm-hmm. But also, it's so cute because Kit is bisexual. He's like
whatever.
Well, he's like he kind of has the same analogy where like different parts of himself are illuminated differently by different genders. But he's like, because Kit is none of them and all of them at the same time, like it illuminates his whole body as well.
Using 100% of the brain here.
Mm-hmm. So
good
very
stuff.
cute. We go to Florence, and We notice that Dakota, Montana, and the Callums, both blonde and ginger, are all splitting one gelato cone.
All four?
All four.
Okay, they got the Riverdale ending.
Yeah.
This is exciting.
They're getting it on.
We're getting a new little polycule in this book.
We see a couple statues, one of Neptune and his big bodacious badonk that is on full view.
Oh,
we go to the Buontalenti grotto that Kit shows Theo, and then they have sex there. They then explore a little bit on their own, and then later they talk about the breakup a bit more. And then they pretend to get engaged at this restaurant so they can get free drinks.
Nice.
You
gotta do that.
Yeah. Now we're in Chianti, and they go to the pool, and there's some bonding time with the Callums. We learn that one of the Callums saved the other one from a shark bite when they were like 13 years old, and now they're best friends. And
Hey, that's what you do in Australia.
That's what happens in Australia.
Sharks and bites.
So then... there's a bunch of stuff that happens with Theo being like, oh, I'm a fuck up. And Kit's like, no, you're not. And whatever, it's annoying. Then Theo's like, we should go on a bike ride before the tour bus leaves. Let's go on a bike ride. And Kit's like, okay. And then, of course, everything goes wrong on this bike ride.
Yeah.
They get lost. They didn't check the time before they left, so the tour bus left without them, and Theo signed them in, so then the tour bus didn't know that they were leaving them. It was a whole thing.
Skill issue.
Yeah.
Sorry, so, all of that could have been avoided. Mm-hmm. You guys kind of just suck at communicating.
It was pretty bad, which then they get into a fight about. So Orla has to drive back to pick them up, and on their way to meet the rest of the tour group in Rome, they get into a little bit of a little tiff. They talk about, Kit's like, well, this wouldn't have happened if I planned this bike ride. And Theo's like, well, fuck you, man.
I just want to give a little shout out to Orla here.
Orla's a fucking goddess.
The only person dependable in this story is the lesbian. And I think that is...
It's saying something.
That's a message that we should be taking.
And you know what I love about her is the entire time it's very tense and quiet. And so she's like, look, cows.
Love.
And both Kit and Theo are like, mm-hmm.
We have to have a look, cows.
Every time there's cows. She's like, oh, cows.
Yeah.
Because it's so awkward. And I'm like, yeah, she gets it.
Yeah. Well, regardless of awkward, like, you gotta point out the cows.
Yeah. So, yeah, they argue. And then they also just get into, like, the breakup. And we learn that they broke up because Kit bought the apartment in Paris without telling Theo. And was just assuming that Theo would be down with moving to Paris.
I understand that. I think I would freak out if somebody said, I bought us a place to live without you knowing anything about this.
Mm-hmm. And then, like, a place where Theo doesn't know the language.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah, Theo's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do in Paris? And Kit's like, well, we can open our restaurant, Fairflower. And Theo's like, it's a hypothetical. It's not real. And so it was like, yeah, they really get into it. We learn a lot.
I'm on Theo's side here.
Yeah, me too. And even while they're talking, Theo's like, so you admit you're wrong? And Kit's like, yes, I do. Like, I was very much in the wrong. I've grown since then.
We love that.
Like, they've taken ownership of what's happened. And so Theo's like, oh, okay. And then Kit's like, yeah, this was the biggest regret of my entire life. Like, I can't be with you because I did this one stupid selfish thing and blah 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 blah. So yeah. Then they get back to the tour group and they're about to go on tours, the Vespa tours. And this is where Theo and Kit ride with Fabrizio in the sidecar and the motorcycle.
Okay.
They swap who sits in the sidecar. Oh my god.
Why does this sidecar keep coming back?
I don't know. But so yeah, they do that.
It's really silly.
This is where my notes stop, so I'm just going to go on memory now.
We're going off book here.
Fabrizio ends up inviting them back to his apartment. Ooh. And they're like, oh my god, are we going to have a threesome with Fabrizio? And so
waited until the end of the tour.
Mm-hmm.
Smart.
And so they're like, I think we should. Which also, by the way, now I think they had to share a room in one of the hostels in Rome. So Theo made a rule that like they can't have sex or do anything in their own room, and then they immediately change that rule so that they can have sex in the room.
Nice.
Yeah. So I think also kissing is still not allowed, but everything else is.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's happening. So we go to Fabrizio's. Kit puts some condoms in his little shirt pocket, and we head out into the night. They get some wine, and we get to Fabrizio's apartment, and the person that opens the door is his wife. He's been married the entire time.
Oh.
And so they're like...
Okay, so historically, people have not been hot and married at the same time. So this
and
is...
This
is confusing.
This is confusing for them.
And, okay, Fabrizio, why have you not mentioned your wife this whole time? Do you hate her?
There's a reason for this, which they then get into. Fabrizio doesn't even wear a wedding ring because he wants to get the most money out of his tourists.
He's smart. That's why.
He's schmootzing on all of them. Everybody falls in love with Fabrizio.
He said that you can't be a wife guy anymore.
No.
We saw the Try Guys.
Which
That's
is so
not happening.
funny because the entire time they're like, he's so gay. Like Theo was like, I could sleep with Fabrizio. And before Kit knew that Theo was non-binary, Kit's like, I don't know if you're his type. And Theo's like, I'm anybody's type. What do you mean? But yeah, so Fabrizio's wife is awesome. She's super cool. Orla shows up as well. They all kind of have a dinner together. It's like the end of the tour dinner. And it's really cute. It's really sweet. Like they're going to be friends after this.
Okay.
Then I think that the tour is kind of coming to an end. We say goodbye to everybody. Kit and Theo are like, they admit they have feelings for each other. They're in love. They did end up sleeping together once, maybe twice, and they're like, I'm very much in love with you. I've always been in love with you. Their feelings are reciprocated, but they're like, this can't happen. We live in different countries. It's not possible.
Guys.
So
okay.
Yeah. So Kit goes back home to Paris. Theo is staying one more day in this last stop on the tour and then is going back home to America. And the day that Kit goes home, he's like, this is really upsetting. Like, I'm really sad. But they've also gotten an offer to open. There's a patisserie in, I can't remember where, but it's somewhere in Europe. The owner she's done baking, so she wants to try and sell the bakery
convenient
to a pastry chef. And
Got
so
it.
Yeah, that's kind of like Kit's been thinking about that.
Is Kit practicing?
Yeah.
Okay.
He works at a pastry kitchen right now.
Got it.
So yeah, so that happens. Kit's home. He's like really sad, and he's like, he finds a picture that his mom signed the back of, and he's never seen that, like what she wrote, but it's addressed to his uncle, and so like sister to brother, and she's like talking about love and like how she wishes that she could be she could take risks so that she could be with the person that she loves or something like that, which of course is what Kit needed to be like, I have to go get
very
Theo.
specific to the current situation. Love
so
that.
Kit's like, I'm grabbing my passport, rushing out the door. As he opens the door to his apartment, guess who's there?
Nice.
Yep, Theo is there.
Yep,
and
you guessed it.
Kit's like, how did you find my apartment? And Theo's like, I actually don't remember how they find it. There's a whole reason.
The Find My Friends app on their iPhone.
Yeah, something happens. But Theo's like, I'm here. And Kit's like, what are you doing here? And Theo's like, I need to be with you. So they talk or whatever. They're like, we need to make this work. Like, this is something that we can't not have.
Yeah.
And so they decide that they are going to be together. They're going to be in love, whatever. And they're going to open up this pastry or like bakery where Kit makes the pastries. Theo will make drinks that pair with the food items. The pairing, if you will.
I see.
So yeah, that's kind of the end. It ends with them just being together and like starting their future and just being in love, and it's really sweet and really cute. And yeah, I feel like if I had written more notes for that, it would be a little bit more in depth of what I'm saying. But
I feel like this was perfect.
That was good. That was really long.
What a wild ride.
What a wild ride. Yeah, if I were to rate that book, it would be 4.5.
Damn.
Out of 5.
Really?
It was really fun. And knowing that their next book is going to be with characters from this book,
that is
so exciting. I think it's going to be the Callums, because there's a lot of lore that we didn't get into.
It would be fun to spend some time in Australia too.
I
hope we get that.
I hope so too.
I think it's really funny that that's kind of their whole thing, is just being Australian.
Yeah.
And being like kind of each other.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's fun. I love that.
Yeah. So
I would read that. Where does this rank in your lineup of Casey McQuiston books?
Great question. Okay. This is a controversial one. So I would say...
Is it?
Maybe. Actually, I don't know.
Sorry.
I would say... I think this one takes the number 1 spot. Because this book was very...
Really?
Like, it was funny. I laughed a lot. And I did multiple
funny.
times with this book, which I wasn't expecting. And also it's very spicy, which was fun. Which also Casey McQuiston talks about how she... Red, White, and Royal Blue was supposed to be a lot more explicit, but
really?
They got embarrassed because people were gonna read it and be like, "Oh my god, you came up with that."
I get that, because sometimes I'm reading those scenes in books and I'm like, somebody's sitting at their laptop right now typing all this out.
And like
really
there was a couple scenes in this one where I was like, whoa, that's that's a lot. So yeah,
damn.
But yeah, it also had like a great band of characters. Like every character was extremely likable, which I loved.
Love that.
So yeah,
important.
Pairing is number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, I think, is going to be I Kissed Shara Wheeler, because I love a young adult novel, especially a gay one.
It's interesting. Red, White, and Royal Blue isn't higher.
I know. That's going to be number 3.
Okay.
And number 4 is One Last Stop.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I did not like that one very much.
Yeah, I started that one.
It wasn't great. It was fine.
I got maybe 25 pages in. Maybe I'll try again someday.
Yeah, one day.
You're not really selling it for me though.
No, I didn't. I mean, it was fine.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, would you read this book?
I would. I really want to now.
It's so good. It was very
inspired.
fun. I recommend it to anybody that needs a smutty little gay book.
Nice little rom-com.
Yeah, especially like this is very much a summer read, so
okay.
So get it before the rain comes.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe I need to wait till next year.
Yeah.
I might, or maybe a sunny day.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's The Pairing by Casey McQuiston.
Okay.
That is episode 2.
Thank you very much.
Sorry it was so long, guys.
No. This was good. This was good.
On next week's episode, we will be touching on Tender is the Flesh.
Oh boy. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah. This one will probably be a bit shorter because it is like a third of the size of The Pairing.
It's pretty fucking horrifying though. So there's a lot to talk about.
There is a lot to talk about. So yeah.
Yay.
Thanks for listening
Thanks
to me talk.
Thanks for listening, guys. Let us know what you're thinking.
Yeah, comment below. Have you read The Pairing?
Have you read The Pairing?
Have you read Casey McQuiston's other books?
Are you going to?
Are there any rom-coms I should read instead?
Yeah. Have we what's the word I'm looking for? Inspired you guys?
Yeah.
Let us know down there in those little comments. Be nice, please, though.
Yeah, we're fragile.
If there's something wrong with the audio or anything like that, don't tell us.
No.
Pretend it's not happening.
Send emails to rnmbookclub@gmail.com if you have anything you want to say that you don't want to comment.
All right.
Thanks, pals.
Thanks, pals. See you later.
See you later. Bye.